Hello once again and welcome back to Wrestling Union. This week I'm doing SmackDown vs Raw 2010, and you know, when I look back at this game, I remember being excited. Very excited. It was a huge upgrade from SVR09, and there was no way I was missing out on this game. There was just a lot of content in this game to keep you busy. As usual, the entrances look good, with some updated and others not, but that's okay. Although there are differences in gameplay, they did use the same engine as before, but that doesn't matter because at the time, it felt like a whole new game, not just some update. No longer is an annoying HUD covering the sum of the screen, now there is a halo below your wrestler. It's a health bar and this is much more efficient. You may also be thinking, where's the human figure that represents your damage? Well, it's not here anymore, but they did include a feature where your wrestler will hold onto his leg or his arm if he's hurt there. For example, if your leg is hurt, he'll hold onto his leg while limping around the ring. This just makes it more realistic, I guess. So really, you don't really need this human figure, and I never really cared for it in the first place. I'm kinda glad it's gone. When you perform your finisher, everything goes dark and in slow motion for a few seconds. I actually prefer the breaking glass effect from 09, but this is actually pretty cool too. I just prefer the one from 09 better, that's all. They also worked on the blood, finally. On your face, it will begin with minor bleeding, then a little more until finally it's all over your face, and even on your knuckle. It looked great, in a sick way, but come on, who doesn't love seeing a crimson mask? The highlight reel was back, and this time you could upload your highlights to YouTube or online for people to see. Sometimes you would see this glitch, the crowd in the ring. Yeah, kinda weird. It has happened to me in this game a bunch of times. I don't know how to get rid of it, but yeah. It's pretty weird. A new feature called Superstar Threads were in the game, in which you can change the color of any superstar and diva in the game. You cannot change their clothes, you can only change the color in the clothes. But regardless, it's still a good feature to have in the game. And another new feature called Rivals, in which you pick 5 allies and 5 enemies. Enemies will mostly interfere in your matches, while allies will come out and try to help you out. And enemies will try to cost you the match. And this is where allies come into play, which they get rid of the enemies, and sometimes they won't, at least in my experiences. Create a Wrestler was improved too. Instead of clothing that looked like it was painted on your wrestler, you now had 3D clothing. So even Create a Wrestlers look much better. It finally updated. You see, Create a Wrestler was ignored for many years, and in this game they decided to improve it. So why this game? I don't really know. But even though this feature was improved, the Create a Wrestlers still didn't look as real as the real wrestlers on the roster, but they did a good job regardless. Another new feature called the Paint Tool was in. Basically, you just create any design you want and give it to Create a Wrestler or a diva. You can also upload your creations online for other people to see. Of course, you can also download as well. So this is a very useful feature and a fun feature, so I'm glad they put it in. Road to WrestleMania did return, with a Create a Wrestler, a diva storyline for the first time, and others including Edge, Shawn Michaels, Randy Orton, plus John Cena and Triple H. The Create a Wrestler begins with Santino in the ring, going against Kofi Kingston. He then defeats Kofi Kingston, and then he starts running his mouth. He then chooses you out of all the people in the arena to face him in a match for the IC Championship. And guess what? Yeah, you defeat him, with pre-existing wrestling skills. Then you're in Vince's office. Vince is angry at you. He wants his IC Championship back, but you refuse to give it back. Then the storyline just goes on from there. It's pretty interesting actually. But just one thing that I hated about this storyline. They changed your character to this, a Jimmy Hart looking guy. So yeah, this storyline was ruined, and I don't know why they did this, but they shouldn't have. If I had to pick a favorite storyline, it is probably Edge's storyline. He gets into a relationship with Maria. Maria is also the general manager, so Edge takes advantage of her. Typical Edge. Mickie James plays a diva in the Diva storyline, and I gotta say, perfect choice. I'm sure you remember when Mickie James used to be so obsessed with Trish Stratus. Well, Natalia's playing Mickie James' role this time, and Mickie James playing Trish Stratus' role. They pretty much copied the real life storyline of these two.
Mickie!
Damn!
I'm going to give this game an 8.9 out of 10. If you agree or disagree, please leave comments down below. I'd love to hear your feedback. My next review will be SmackDown vs Raw 2011, so I do hope you check it out next week. Well, you have reached the end of my review. Like always, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and please share the video. And I do appreciate it, by the way. And I read every comment, and I'd like to see a lot of likes on my video. And if you dislike it, then that's fine. Alright, I'll see you next week for SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. Please, take care.